Good morning, I are back. Here's the plan. We will have the normal, for now, of roofing and plastering. We have at least one new thing to talk about here at the pool, which is why you might be able to hear it's slightly noisy in the background. I'll show you in a minute. And if we can get to grips with dimensions, something new in the kitchen as well. What could possibly go wrong? We'll start here at the pool, where they are mixing concrete with a concrete mixer, which we haven't seen for a while. And lying around, we have more concrete hollow block. It's all to help them take your dizzy pills with this. They're basically putting these hollow block all around the outside so they can build up this area. The hollow block really just being used effectively as forms as much as anything else. But then they will fill all that in with concrete, and then it's coping time in the dirty kitchen. I was right yesterday, it was Ronwell. Ronwell continuing to work on plastering on that back wall, and a little bit of preparation now going on up here. I think that's Jojet. A little bit of preparation up on the beams. That wall almost done. The wall at the sunroom, which extends double height, just applying more plaster at the bottom end. They've finished all the way up to the top. So, getting ready to finish off this wall.
Hello, pare!
Pare! ¿Cómo está?
Pare!
I have managed to get them so they don't call me sir anymore. Most of the time, anyway. Right, so, continuing work inside the pantry with plastering there. And what could it be that is going to be new in here? Just be patient. Once again, upstairs in the bathroom, Rico on his own. Very, very close to finishing the plastering off in this bathroom, which only leaves that one bathroom left to do. And still, this last bathroom remains unplastered. Well, apart from that little bit of cover up over there, that doesn't count. Unplastered and lonely. Oh well, it won't be long, I suspect. O'Donnell has switched sides. This top of the wall, done. They're going to start on this side now. And the daredevils up top, continuing their precarious work. More and more of these larger C-purlins going into place and getting welded in. And there's one more thing to look at up here. This is where trusses are not yet painted. I have said to the builder yesterday, and I remind the engineer this morning, these trusses do show clear signs of rust. So based on comments from, amongst others, I think Larry Langdon was very clear on this, and maybe others as well, this should be getting a rust treatment before the paint is applied. I have repeated that message this morning to the engineer. We'll see if anything changes. And Mr. Jesse Bamber continuing with electrical work. He was actually helping us out last night, and in fact over the weekend, with a little couple of side projects on the house, the other house, the small one, and our shed, where we now have light. Right, I'll end the suspense. So, what the foreman is proposing is that we make a start today on kitchen counters, kitchen cabinetry. So, you may have seen, or you probably have seen before on other builds, the kind of standard, one of the standards in the Philippines, is they build concrete bases for countertops. In part to be a slightly anti-termite measure, but really as well because it makes them very, very strong. And it is also common here to have some kind of granite or marble type work surface, and they're heavy. So they're going to make a start, possibly on the counters. Now, we've had a walk around this morning and we've come to certain conclusions about size of cabinets, height of cabinets, but one thing that remains left to check, and I'm trying to do that now, is we do want to have a dishwasher in here. And at the moment, the proposed height of all the counters is 80 centimeters to the top, which will give us is a 20 centimeter thickness, so we'll have 60 centimeters clearance. Probably we want to put a dishwasher somewhere along this front wall, I think. But we've got to be a little careful with this because a lot of dishwashers wouldn't fit in a height space of 60 centimeters. So we're trying to figure that out now. But basically, we've got all the positions that we want. It's just heights that we now need to be conscious of. They need to be low enough to be comfortable for my beautiful Asawa, and for me as well, which obviously I would like to go a little higher, but it needs to be comfortable for her to stand over, even though most likely quite a bit of stuff in here will be me. She'll do a lot as well, but also still fit in that appliance. So I'm not sure whether, rather than having a dishwasher that is under a countertop, we might just have to leave a gap, which is not quite as aesthetically pleasing, but we may not have a choice. We'll see. I don't know if this will show up on camera, but Oliver is basically putting marks on the heights of where we think it's going to be. And to do it, I'm very happy to report, he's using a laser level. I'm not sure if you can see that green light. Hopefully that comes out. But that is coming, it goes all the way along here, and it goes around the corner. And I'm not sure if it doesn't do a full 360, but it goes plenty far enough. And it all comes out of this little thing, a laser level. Today's news of kitchen countertops preparation means road trip. The road trip begins here. CW Home Depot, Pampanga, which is in San Fernando. So this was about traffic was good actually, about a 35-minute drive. Let's see what they got. I'm going to explain why we're here and what we're looking for.
Hello, sir.
Right, this is Rommel.
Yes, sir. My name is Ronald, sir.
Who is helping us out with all these appliances, along with Mark. Was it Mark?
Mark.
That's Mark over there.
Yes, sir.
Very good, thank you, Mark. So they're showing us around the CW Home Depot appliances area. As always, when you go in these places, service usually, in my experience, is outstanding. Right, we're here looking at dishwashers to begin with. Basically, for the kitchen, we've worked out that the countertop should be at 90 centimeters for us, which is slightly too low for me and slightly too high for my wife, but it's vaguely comfortable for both of us. Now what we've got to figure out is the height of a dishwasher to go underneath the counter. Some assistance once again from Kazatex Cleaner this morning gave us a guideline, and I think we're now looking for a dishwasher that is at most 85 centimeters tall. Even that might be slightly tight, but it should fit underneath a granite top, providing that granite top isn't supported at that point by a concrete slab, which should be fine. So let's see what we can find. Once again, Philippine customer service above and beyond. They don't just tell you, oh, we've got this one out the back. They bring it out and show you. I'm on the wrong side. Let's go and see it from the front. So this one is 82 centimeters high, which is just fine. The Elba brand seems to be everywhere here. I wasn't familiar with it before, but it's a dishwasher. How could it possibly go wrong? What I did not explain, I think, was how did we end up with 90 centimeters as the top of the counter? Well, it seems like the guidelines you see online suggest that if you hold your arms down by your side and then bend at the elbow 90 degrees, from the bottom of your elbow to the top of the countertop should be between 10 and 15 centimeters. Now, there is quite a large gap in height between myself and my beautiful Asawa, but we both looked at what we have in the small house and we played around with heights, and it just felt reasonably comfortable for both of us to go with a 90 centimeter high countertop, which meant that we just then need to make sure that something like this will fit underneath what we assume will be a granite slab, and it would. Well, it's hard to make out, it's not in stock, but this is the kind of oven that I think we're looking for. It is a 90 centimeter wide oven. There's two models here. One has 9 built-in functions and one has 12 apparently. I have no idea what they are. We'll go away and look it up. But I want a larger sized oven that we can build in, and maybe even 2, so that if we're catering to big numbers, there's always enough oven space. Ronel has just answered another question for me that I wasn't clear on. If you want very high heat from a range, a stovetop, induction apparently is not the way to go. It's fast, it's efficient, but if you want really high heat, he says you've got to go with a gas burner. So maybe we do one thing in the kitchen and one thing in the dirty kitchen, and they're different things. We will see. We have a contender for the oven for the dirty kitchen. This is a Turkish brand apparently, currently on sale for a little bit less than 30,000 pesos. We'll put a US dollar number up later, but quite like, the size is good. It's got 4 gas burners on top and 2 electric, which is, I guess, a little unusual, but quite a nice feature. The brand, Marks and Maximus, I've not come across before. Don't see any reason why it would be a problem. Another oven possibility from Fuji Denso. This is a brand that you see a lot over here. It's a Japanese brand, but it is assembled in China, which is the explanation given for why it's currently cheaper than the Turkish model we just looked at. So this one at the moment is just under 29,000 pesos. So very similar, but a tiny bit cheaper. This is a possibility for the main kitchen. I know this sounds a bit mad, but I might want 8 burners. And La Germania, again, another brand that is very widespread here. And this one also looks quite nice, in my opinion. 60 centimeters wide, 51 centimeters deep. The plan is this would be included in the kitchen island, as long as we can work out gas supply. And I need to now go and figure out what that means for the remaining space on that kitchen island. That's honest for you. He just said the burners are too close together. You can't use them all at the same time. So that one's out. Time, ladies and gentlemen, please. 4:30. Bell's just gone. The pool crew have been digging their way and building their way around the outside edge of the pool and have done most of it. They're all the way around from this point on this side, all the way around the far side, all the way around that side, to just over here. I don't know exactly what happens when they get to these pipes for the water jets, well, predominantly for the water jets. We'll see what they do with that tomorrow. I think that was pretty much exclusively their focus today. Adding the concrete hollow blocks around the outside, if they hadn't done that already, and then filling in. They have concreted in to a low level, a lot of it. The dirty kitchen now has 2 walls that are plastered. Looks like still a little bit more smoothing to be done at the bottom. In the kitchen, we've got the very beginnings of the bases for cabinets. There'll be one in that corner. There'll be one that basically stretches all the way around to here, although part of it will be full height cabinetry. And there's one behind me. I'm not spinning around, that would get you dizzy. This is looking into the pantry. Very, very dark. I've got the camera on its maximum light setting and still practically invisible in there. But all of the walls now have plaster. This is the bathroom for the bedroom at the front of the house in the middle. The one that Rico was working on the plastering. He finished it. Everywhere, with the exception of that gap where the niche will be, is now plastered. Which means that upstairs there is just one bathroom to go. I'm now standing in that bathroom and they have plastered one wall. It's begun. They have, of course, been busy up on top as well. I said yesterday that I'd try and get the drone up there to get a bit of a better look. I failed. My miserable excuses are the unplanned trip off to check on dishwashers. And then it's been kind of raining ever since we got back. Only very light, it's raining now. But I don't know how the drone will get on in rain, and I don't want to find out. So, hopefully tomorrow, some better weather and no unplanned trips, and we'll get the drone up. But that is the end of the day. We did, on the way back from CW Home Depot, we did stop off in one more place, but there was nothing really that added to the story of the appliances that we were interested in. It wasn't a great store in terms of, well, that particular location for that store. It was a store called Benson. Very good for things like fridges and freezers, and probably many other things, but not really what we were looking for today. We will go back there though, because their fridge selection was excellent, if possibly a little pricey. But there we go, the end of day 140. A day with unplanned visits, a day when something started in the kitchen that I wasn't expecting, and then all the rest of the normal, if you like, stuff for now continued, including a lot more work around the outside of the pool. So, who knows what tomorrow will bring? We'll find out. See you then.